In 1920, the 18th Amendment went into effect, banning the manufacture, sale, and distribution of intoxicating liquors. The Prohibition era had begun. It was the result of a long, hard-fought campaign by the Dries, as the Anti-Saloon League, the Women's Christian Temperance Union, and other Prohibition advocates were known. They considered alcohol to be America's national curse and believed a federal ban would help lower crime rates, strengthen families, and generally improve the national character. But the noble experiment, as it came to be known, would last little more than a decade. What went wrong? For one thing, Prohibition turned out to be bad for the economy. Thousands of jobs were eliminated when breweries, distilleries, and saloons were shut down. Despite grand expectations that banning alcohol would boost sales of other goods and entertainment, the result was the opposite. Restaurants couldn't make enough money without liquor sales, and theater revenues actually declined. The federal government lost valuable excise tax revenue to the tune of some $11 billion. At the same time, it spent more than $300 million to enforce the ban. And we bet you didn't know that it was never actually illegal to drink during Prohibition. The 18th Amendment bans manufacture, sale, and distribution of alcohol, not its consumption. People certainly didn't stop drinking, but they did start buying more illegal liquor. Bootleg alcohol was often of lesser quality and sometimes even dangerous. On average, 1,000 Americans died every year during Prohibition from the effects of drinking tainted liquor. And what about the idea that banning alcohol would cut down on crime? In fact, crime rates actually rose during Prohibition. In addition to gangsters like Al Capone, who made around $60 million annually from his bootleg operations, the illegal alcohol trade made criminals out of millions of formerly law-abiding Americans, including police officers or Prohibition agents tempted by lucrative bribes. By the end of the 1920s, the majority of Americans were losing patience with Prohibition. Franklin D. Roosevelt won the presidency in 1932 with a platform that pledged to end it. In 1933, the 21st Amendment repealed the ban on alcohol. It was the first time in history that a constitutional amendment had ever been repealed. Some say FDR toasted the end of Prohibition with his favorite drink, a dirty martini. A few states remained dry after the repeal, but by 1966, all of them had abandoned Prohibition, and America raised its glass to the end of the noble experiment.